guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And today I'm going to give you guys some good juice on knowing what to do in the wintertime when you go fishing. You have one of those super nice days out where it's above normal temperature, or you have some type of a warming trend and everybody wants to get out on the lake, what to expect and what those fish do on warm days that you have during the wintertime. I think it's really going to surprise you, you know what I'm going to tell you here. But real quick before you get started here, a couple housekeeping tips. You guys missed out on the Black Friday sale, still no problem. You can still get the SolarBat Randy Blockett 2 model sunglasses. Just go to solarbat.com. I'll include the link in the description. Great Christmas present if you guys are looking for some new glasses. Totally newly redesigned glasses here from SolarBat. Absolutely love them. Think you guys will too. Check them out at solarbat.com or the link in the description here. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this warm weather deal. Man, it's the first week of December, guys. I'm out here in shorts, sitting in the backyard, 78 degrees in December in Missouri. That's just sort of become the new norm with man-made climate change. I mean, you wouldn't have had this 40 years ago, but we get a lot of these type of days where it's 20 degrees above normal in the winter time of year. I think it's sort of going to continue. And one of the things about that, I'll say that, you know, when you're talking about eventually I'm going to do a video on this about how climate change affects bass, but when you have days like this where it's either really warm or if you have some of those periods it's really cold, those are weather patterns. Those are not indicative of climate change. That's a different thing. But I'll explain that in the video at some point down the road. But anyway, 78 degrees in shorts in December here. Really a good segue into the topic for what I want to talk about today. And that is what these fish do on these warm days like we have right now in December. Tomorrow I've got an on-the-water lesson at Table Rock Lake. It's supposed to be super nice. It's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow here in Missouri, which again, it's like 20 degrees or more over normal. And I expect the fishing to be tough, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. I get a lot of questions about people asking what temperature variations and temperature increases or drops due to the bass throughout the course of the year. And I'm going to talk specifically about winter today on warming trends. And I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, a warming trend like we have today where it's beautiful, it's bright, it's sunny, it's warm in December in the middle of winter is terrible for fishing. For whatever reason, the bass do not react to these warm days like you think you would have. I mean, if I went to the lake today, the ramps would probably be full because people want to get out in the water, think fishing's going to be good, and it's not. Fishing usually sucks in the wintertime when you have these warm days like this. Because what happens, and it's not necessarily that it sucks, but it sucks for the type of area guys think the fish are going to be in. Bass do not react and move on conditions like you have in the wintertime when it warms up like they do in different times of the year. If you get a day like this, say for example, it's the late pre-spawn and you know, water temperatures are starting to warm up a little bit, and then you get one of these super warm days like we have right now. I mean, it's literally hot right now. The sun is hot on my skin out here. So if you get one of these days like in March, that triggers the fish to move up and get really active. But when the wintertime, when these fish are wanting to be a little bit deeper, and specifically if they're wanting to suspend, I have found in my own opinion that it really turns the bass off, and they're very difficult to catch regardless of how you want to fish for them. So I want to give you guys some tips here as far as if you do go out on nice days like we have right now in the wintertime. First of all, don't let the warmth you feel on your back or the warmth you feel on your son or the fact that you've got a short sleeve shirt on, or if you don't have a coat on in the winter, think that those bass are going to be aggressive and shallow, because they're not. If you've got bass like, you know, in most lakes across the country, that when you get into December, you start to have a lot of bass that move deeper, they suspend a lot. Those bass pretty much stay put even on a nice day like you have right here. They just don't make that transition and move up shallow and start biting like they will in the pre-spawn of the year. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys is if you go fishing during one of these super warm days like this, just pretend it's not warm. Continue to fish the same type of winter areas that you traditionally fish in. And we're talking about deeper point ends and sides, bluff banks, fishing for suspended fish, fishing deeper docks, that type of stuff. Those fish are still going to be there. They're not going to react to the increased temperature because it's not really going to increase the water surface temperature up that much, because normally, even though you have a warm day like we have today, it still cools off in the night. It may warm up a little bit more than what you think in the daytime, but it's not like it stays warm at night too. And another factor with that to consider is that in the winter time of the year, you know, bass have seasonal movements and seasonal personalities that they have. And in my opinion, the water temperature is not as important many times of the year as the daylight hours. When you have decreasing daylight hours, like we're coming up on the winter solstice in about 3 weeks, we're going to have some of the shortest days of the year over the next 2 or 3 weeks here, and bass react to that, and they react more to the daylight hours than they do to the water temperatures. And they're a complex creature. I mean, they've been on this planet for millions of years. They have a biological structure to them that we don't understand. They have natural cycles and natural rhythms that they go by. Again, there's elements like climate change and different stuff like that that are disrupting those natural biological rhythms, and we still don't really know the effect of that. But I do know one thing, guys: if you guys go fishing on those warm winter days like we have right now, just continue to fish deep. Don't move up, and don't start fishing moving baits fast, because you're not going to do that well. There's always exceptions to the rule, but most of the time when I go fishing on nice days in the wintertime, it's pretty tough fishing. And like I said, I don't look for the fishing to be that great tomorrow. I think we'll catch some fish, but I don't look, even though it's supposed to be 73 degrees, I think it's going to be a beautiful day to be on the water, but I think it's going to be hard to get a bite and that type of deal. So anyway, that's just wanted to throw that out there, pertinent to the abnormally warm weather we have right now. Hope you guys are doing good out there. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see y'all later.